The vast Galactic Council chamber hummed with quiet activity, its enormous domed ceiling reflecting the glow of distant stars. Around the circular table, representatives from dozens of advanced civilizations gathered, discussing trade agreements, border disputes, and the latest intelligence on the simmering conflicts beyond the core worlds. For centuries, these leaders had maintained a careful balance of power across the known galaxy, their combined influence shaping the course of countless star systems. Among the speakers was Chancellor Varnak of the Shrelari Dominion, a species known for their cautious diplomacy and formidable fleet. "The situation near the Varese expanse grows unstable," he warned, his multifaceted eyes scanning the room. "Pirate raids have increased, and border skirmishes threaten to escalate." Several council members nodded in agreement, their minds focused on the challenges ahead. But beneath the surface, a current of unease rippled through the chamber, something unseen. Something about to disrupt their carefully maintained order, far beyond the heart of the Council's reach. Deep in the uncharted regions of space, sensors aboard an ancient observation outpost detected an anomaly. A large object, emitting a distinct but unfamiliar energy signature, slipped silently into the outer system. At first, the on-duty technician assumed a sensor glitch. "Report this immediately," the technician instructed, voice tinged with disbelief. "It's a human warship." The name alone caused a stir among the outpost's command. Humanity, once considered a primitive species confined to a single blue planet, had never been detected beyond their home system. For decades, the galaxy had viewed humans as a curiosity, a young race still struggling to leave their own solar neighborhood. Now, this warship was not just beyond their system, it was armed, imposing, and moving with purpose. Back at the Galactic Council, the news arrived like a thunderclap. Holographic projections flickered to life, displaying the unfamiliar Vesela sleek, angular craft bristling with weapon arrays and defensive systems unlike any known human ship. Council members exchanged surprised glances. The Eldari ambassador, a tall, slender being with luminescent skin, voiced the question on everyone's mind. How could humanity achieve such technological advancement without our knowledge? Why have they not made contact until now? Speculation buzzed through the room. Some suggested secretive human research programs. Others theorized the involvement of unknown allies. But the truth was yet to be uncovered. In the bridge of the human warship, Captain Marissa Chen stood silently, her gaze steady on the starfield. Ahead, the crew moved with quiet efficiency, aware that every moment counted. They had orders: proceed through contested space, observe, and establish humanity's presence. But they would reveal little more than necessary. Chen's voice broke the calm. Maintain current course. Prepare for potential contact, but do not initiate communication unless ordered. Her second-in-command, Lieutenant Rafiq, raised an eyebrow. They won't expect us. We have the element of surprise. Chen nodded. Exactly. Let them see that humanity does not come to ask permission. As the warship slipped deeper into the contested system, alien fleets scrambled to intercept. The galactic leaders, unprepared for this sudden appearance, ordered reconnaissance vessels to identify the newcomer. Yet attempts to hail the humans went unanswered. Tension escalated quickly. The presence of an unknown armed human warship in contested space was a direct challenge to the established order. On board the alien flagship, Commander Zarek frowned. They refused to respond. Are they hostile? Unknown, replied the communications officer. No transmissions received. Zarek's claws tightened around the command console. Prepare to engage, but hold fire unless provoked. We cannot afford to make a mistake. Back on the Resolute, Chen's eyes flicked to the tactical display. They're nervous. Good. We won't give them the chance to dictate terms. The silence of space was about to be shattered, not by battle, But by the arrival of a species the galaxy thought it understood, only to discover how much it had underestimated. The human warship Resolute moved steadily through the outer rim of the contested system, its sleek frame cutting through the darkness like a blade. Despite the tense atmosphere, the ship's crew worked with practiced calm. Sensors scanned constantly, weapons systems stood ready, but no hostile actions were taken without explicit orders. Meanwhile, the alien fleets that had scrambled to intercept the Resolute hesitated. They had never encountered humans at this level of preparedness and power. Their attempts to hail the ship went unanswered, and every message sent was met with silence. In the command bridge of the Cathar Dreadnought Vindicator, Commander Zarek paced restlessly. Why won't they respond? Are they preparing an attack, or is this some kind of test? His communications officer responded with a trace of uncertainty. No transmissions detected, sir. Their communication protocols seem ... different, possibly encrypted or on unknown frequencies. Zarek's multi-eyed gaze hardened. Increase signal power. Attempt all known channels. We cannot allow them to slip away without understanding their intent, but the humans remained silent. Back aboard the Resolute, Captain Chen stood by the main viewport observing the approaching alien fleet. Her calm exterior concealed the careful calculations running through her mind. Humanity had no desire to ignite a war on this unexpected arrival. But they would not be cowed either. Lieutenant Morales Chen ordered, "Prepare a defensive posture. Keep all weapons ready, but no aggressive action unless provoked." Morales nodded. "Understood, Captain. The crew is ready." The alien ships moved cautiously, their weapons powered but held in check. The silence between the two forces was thick with tension. Suddenly, holographic projection flickered to life on the Resolute's bridge. The voice of the Galactic Council's envoy filled the room, a calm, measured tone. "Human warship. Identify yourselves and state your purpose. You are in contested space where unauthorized vessels may be considered hostile." Captain Chen stepped forward. "This is the United Earth Federation vessel, Resolute. Our mission is peaceful exploration and to announce humanity's arrival among the stars." The envoy's face betrayed surprise. "Your arrival is unexpected. Your technology suggests rapid advancement unknown to the Council. Why did you not communicate sooner?" Chun's reply was firm. "Humanity has grown quietly, preparing to protect its interests. We come now to take our place, not as subjects, but as equals." A murmur spread among the alien fleet's command crews. The idea of humanity demanding respect rather than submission was new and unsettling. Commander Zarek narrowed his eyes. "They speak with confidence and authority. This is no primitive race." On the Resolute, the crew exchanged glances. For many, this was their first real interaction with the wider galaxy, and the stakes could not be higher. Suddenly, sensors detected movement, a smaller alien vessel approaching rapidly. It was an unarmed envoy ship, signaling a desire for dialogue. Chen nodded to Lieutenant Rafik. "Prepare a welcoming party. We'll meet them halfway." As the two ships drew near, tense anticipation filled the air. The envoy's captain projected a holographic image aboard the Resolute's conference room. "I am Ambassador Lyra of the Shrillery Dominion," she introduced herself. "We welcome you, though your sudden arrival has shocked the galaxy's leaders. We seek to understand your intentions fully." Chen smiled, a rare warmth in her eyes. "Ambassador Lyra, humanity seeks peace, partnership, and a voice at the galactic table. We have much to share, much to learn." The envoy's expression softened slightly. "Then let this be the first step toward a new era." Back on the bridge, Captain Chen allowed herself a brief moment of relief. The galaxy was watching, and humanity had made its first move firm, confident, and ready for whatever came next. The Alliance meeting aboard the Resolute was tense but hopeful. Ambassador Lyra and Captain Chen exchanged guarded words, both aware that much was at stake. While diplomacy was underway, the galaxy remained uneasy, especially among factions with long histories of conflict and suspicion. Deep in the command center of the Cathar dreadnought, Vindicator, Commander Zarek watched the exchange with a mixture of curiosity and unease. "Humans speak boldly," he remarked to his tactical officer, "but words mean little in war." Zarek's doubt was not unfounded. The galaxy had seen many species claim power, only to fall in battle. Yet the humans' warship was unlike anything he had encountered before. Their technology combined sleek design with rugged functionality, and their weapon systems appeared far more advanced than expected. Then came the test. News arrived that a nearby neutral system was under threat from a marauding fleet known as the Vrixen Raiders. The Galactic Council debated intervention, but their forces were stretched thin. Ambassador Lyra turned to Captain Chen. "Will humanity intervene?" Chen met her gaze steadily. "We cannot ignore those in need. We will act without hesitation." The Resolute set course for the embattled system as the human warship approached. Vrixen Raiders spotted the lone vessel and prepared to strike. Confident in their numbers, the Raiders unleashed a barrage of energy weapons, intending to overwhelm the Resolute, but humanity's response was swift and precise. The Resolute's pulse beam arrays ignited with a steady hum. Firing concentrated. Bursts that disabled several Raider vessels with surgical accuracy. Advanced electronic warfare systems scrambled enemy targeting sensors, causing chaos in the Raider formation. Commander Zarek watched the battle unfold on his tactical display. Their weapons are precise. Their electronic countermeasures disrupt our systems. They fight with tactics we have never seen. Despite being outnumbered, the Resolute moved with exceptional agility, weaving between enemy fire and striking from unexpected angles. The human crew worked seamlessly, adapting to every move with relentless efficiency. Lieutenant Rafik called out, "Captain, their flagship is exposed. Targeting now." Chen nodded. "Fire." A powerful pulse beam struck the Raider flagships energy core, crippling its offensive capabilities. The remaining Raider ships, leaderless and disorganized, retreated. The victory was decisive but measured. The Resolute did not destroy the fleeing Raiders. Instead, it sent a clear message. Humanity fought to protect, not to conquer. Back at the Galactic Council, the news of the battle spread quickly. Alien leaders were stunned by the human warship's effectiveness and restraint. Ambassador Lyra addressed the council. "Humanity's tactics combine strength with a sense of honor. We must reconsider our view of this new player." Commander Zarek, still processing the defeat of the Raiders, admitted reluctantly, "They are not just warriors. They are strategists." This changes everything. On board the Resolute, Captain Chen gathered her senior officers. "We have shown them what humanity is capable of. But this is only the beginning. We must prepare for what comes next." Her officers nodded, knowing the challenges ahead would demand every ounce of their skill and unity, as the Resolute set course back to the Council's central system. The galaxy was no longer certain of what the future held. One thing was clear. Humanity had arrived and it would not be ignored, back in the heart of the Galactic Council. The shock of humanity's arrival rippled through every level of power. Rumors and whispers filled the corridors, and the ancient halls buzzed with speculation. How had humanity, once dismissed as a fledgling species barely capable of interplanetary flight, suddenly developed a warship that outclassed veteran fleets? The Council convened an emergency intelligence session. Experts from dozens of worlds pored over intercepted transmissions, espionage reports, and sensor data. Every fragment hinted at something remarkable. Humanity's rapid technological leap was no accident. It was the result of years of secret, relentless effort. On Earth, the story was very different from what the galaxy imagined. For decades, humanity had faced constant threats not just from outside, but within their own fractured nations and cultures. Global conflicts and near catastrophes forced humanity to unite under a single banner: the United Earths Federation. This unification was not easy. But the looming danger of extinction drove innovation and cooperation at an unprecedented pace. Massive investments in science and engineering gave birth to technologies that accelerated human expansion beyond their solar system. Unknown to the galaxy, the Earth had developed breakthrough propulsion systems capable of faster-than-light travel. Equally vital were advancements in energy weapons, defense grids, and artificial intelligence. These technologies were carefully concealed from prying eyes. Hidden behind layers of misinformation and diplomatic silence, back at the Council, Chief Analyst Ryland presented his findings. Humanity's military technology evolved quietly, shielded by their own isolationist policies. Their ships incorporate hybrid systems combining kinetic energy and electronic warfare capabilities that we have not yet mastered. The Council leaders exchanged worried glances. Some saw opportunity, others potential threat. Ambassador Lyra, still cautiously optimistic, argued, "This is a species that has endured hardship and emerged stronger. They seek recognition, not domination. We should extend an offer of cooperation." But Commander Zarek remained skeptical. "Their sudden emergence is too convenient. We must be prepared for any eventuality." Meanwhile, aboard the Resolute, Captain Chen held a briefing with her officers. "They are uncovering our past, piecing together what we have built in secret. Transparency will be key, but we cannot reveal everything." Lieutenant Morales nodded. "We must control the narrative before fear and misunderstanding take root." As the Resolute prepared to participate in upcoming council talks, Chen reflected on the weight of history and expectation. Humanity's journey was one of struggle, resilience, and quiet preparation. Now the galaxy was beginning to understand why humans had arrived so boldly and why they would not back down. Outside the Resolute, stars shimmered with possibilities. The hidden history of humanity was no longer a secret, but the story was far from finished. The Galactic Council chamber was alive with tension as the day of the formal meeting approached. Alien representatives whispered among themselves, their skepticism and curiosity blending into a complex web of emotions. Humanity's sudden appearance had upset the delicate balance of power, and many were uncertain how to respond. Captain Marissa Chen stood aboard the Resolute, reviewing final preparations for the diplomatic encounter. Though a warrior by training, she understood the importance of diplomacy. This meeting could define humanity's place in the galaxy either as respected partners or as threats to be contained. Ambassador Lyra arrived on the Resolute ahead of the council session, her glowing eyes studying the human captain. "Captain Chen," she said carefully, "the council wishes to know if humanity will submit to existing treaties and governance. Your arrival challenges our established order." Chen met her gaze steadily. "We respect the galactic order, but humanity will not accept being sidelined or ruled by others. We come seeking mutual respect, shared security, and a voice equal to any other." The ambassador nodded slowly, impressed by Chen's composure. "Your demands are bold. Some will view them as arrogance." Chen's reply was calm but firm. "Confidence is earned through actions. We are prepared to prove ourselves worthy." As the Resolute entered the council chamber, all eyes fixed on the new arrival. Murmurs echoed through the vast room, many questioning how a single ship could carry the weight of a species' ambitions. The council's presiding officer, a stately figure known as High Magistrate Zelthar, opened the session. "Humanity, you have surprised us. The council must understand your intentions fully. What do you seek from this assembly? Captain Chen stepped forward. We seek recognition, cooperation, and peace. Humanity's history is one of survival against great odds. We have no desire for conquest, but we will defend ourselves and our allies. We ask only for a place at the table. The room was silent. For a moment, then voices rose as some skeptical, some intrigued. Councillor Varnak of the Shirali Dominion spoke first. Your arrival disrupts centuries of balance. How can we trust that humanity will not upset that balance further? Chen replied, Trust is built over time. We ask for the chance to earn it. The debate grew heated. Some factions demanded strict regulations on humanity's activities. Others advocated for alliance, seeing value in humanity's strength and resolve. Ambassador Lyra addressed the chamber. We must adapt to this new reality. Humanity represents a force unlike any we have faced, but also an opportunity for growth. Throughout the discussion, Chen maintained her composure, answering questions honestly and firmly. Her presence, calm and determined, began to shift opinions as the session closed. High Magistrate Zelthar proposed a provisional agreement. Humanity would join the council as an observer with full rights to participate in discussions, pending further review. Chen accepted. We will prove that humanity's presence benefits all. The chamber erupted in murmurs, some hopeful, others wary. Back on the Resolute, Chen gathered her officers. This is only the beginning. We must remain vigilant and united. Lieutenant? Morale smiled. We've already changed the galaxy's course. Captain Chen looked out at the stars, knowing that humanity's true test was yet to come. Despite the provisional agreement, not all in the Galactic Council welcomed humanity with open arms. Behind the ornate walls of the Council's chambers, factions conspired and whispered, their distrust growing like a dark storm on the horizon. Commander Zarek of the Cathar, still smarting from the Resolute's swift victory over the Vrixen. Raiders convened a secret meeting with like-minded leaders. Humanity's rise is too sudden, he warned. Their power threatens the balance we have maintained for centuries. His voice was cold and calculated. We cannot allow their ambitions to go unchecked. If we do nothing, they will reshape the galaxy in their image. Across the council, Ambassador Lyra struggled to mediate growing tensions. We must build trust, not fear, she urged during a private session with council leaders. Humanity's willingness to engage openly is a rare gift. Let us not squander it. But whispers of sabotage and espionage soon surfaced. Strange incidents plagued the Resolute sensor anomalies, attempts to breach its communication networks, and unusual disturbances in its artificial intelligence systems. Captain Chen reviewed the reports with concern. We are under watch, she said grimly. Someone is testing our defenses. Lieutenant Morales, head of security, nodded. We've increased countermeasures and are tracking the source. Whoever it is, they're cautious but persistent. As tension simmered, the galaxy's fragile peace threatened to unravel. The humans realized that their arrival had not only inspired hope, but also fear that could lead to conflict. In a bold move, Chen requested a covert meeting with Commander Zarek, hoping to open a dialogue before things escalated. In a secluded chamber aboard the Council flagship, the two leaders faced each other. Zarek's expression was stern but curious. Captain Chen, he began, I will admit, humanity's power unsettles us. But strength alone does not make an enemy. Chen met his gaze evenly. Nor does fear justify hostility. We want cooperation, not war, but we will defend ourselves. Zarek considered her words. Perhaps there is a way forward. Trust must be earned. They agreed to establish a joint task force to investigate the threats against the Resolute, and to explore opportunities for cooperation in defense and intelligence sharing. Back aboard the human ship, the crew braced for the challenges ahead. They knew that being new to the galactic stage meant navigating not only battles, but political minefields as well. As stars wheeled overhead, Captain Chen stood resolute. Humanity's future depended on more than firepower. It required diplomacy, resilience, and the courage to face the shadows of doubt. The Joint Task Force assembled quickly a diverse group of commanders, diplomats, and intelligence officers from both humanity and their cautious allies, including Commander Zarek himself. Their mission was clear: uncover who or what was threatening the Resolute and ensured the fragile peace held firm. Captain Marissa Chen stood at the helm of the task force's flagship, a newly commissioned vessel designed for both combat and diplomacy. The atmosphere was charged with tension and cautious hope. Our enemies are hiding in the shadows. Chen addressed the assembled officers. We must root them out before they ignite a war none of us want. The first lead came from an intercepted, transmission-encrypted signals sent from an uncharted sector near the edge of known space. The task force set course immediately, navigating a labyrinth of asteroid fields and ancient abandoned outposts. When they arrived, the team discovered a secret base concealed beneath a barren moon's surface. The base was teeming with advanced weaponry and alien technology, but no crew was present, only evidence of hurried evacuation. Lieutenant Morales analyzed the data. This is a staging ground for an unknown faction. They have been conducting sabotage and espionage against multiple species. Commander Zarek frowned. If this group wanted war, why hide? They must be calculating. The task force soon uncovered the identity of the faction: a coalition of disgruntled systems that rejected the Galactic Council's authority, fearful of humanity's influence disrupting their power. Realizing the threat extended beyond mere suspicion, the task force prepared to strike decisively. The humans brought their advanced weaponry and tactical ingenuity, while the alien allies contributed their knowledge of local space and political landscape. The battle that followed was fierce and swift. The task force's coordinated assault overwhelmed the coalition's defenses, disabling their command structures and capturing key leaders for interrogation. Through these interrogations, it became clear the coalition sought to fracture the galactic order by provoking war between humans and other species. With the threat neutralized, the task force returned to the Council with proof of their victory. The alien leaders could no longer deny humanity's value as partners in peace and security. At a follow-up Council meeting, Ambassador Lyra praised the joint efforts. This alliance, forged in fire, has saved countless lives and preserved peace. Chen addressed the chamber. We fought not as conquerors, but as protectors. Together, we can face any challenge. Commander Zarek, once a skeptic, now stood beside humanity as a true ally. I see now that strength coupled with honor creates bonds unbreakable. The Council voted to grant humanity full membership, acknowledging their place among the stars. Back aboard the Resolute, Chen and her crew celebrated, knowing their journey had only just begun. They had proven humanity could stand alongside the galaxy's oldest powers, not through intimidation, but through unity and courage. As the stars glimmered outside their windows, humanity's place in the cosmos was no longer a question, it was a promise. The Council chamber was filled with a palpable energy as the final vote was cast. Humanity's full membership had been approved, a historic moment that echoed throughout the galaxy. For years, humans had been viewed as outsiders, certain, underestimated, and often ignored. Now, they were recognized as equals among the galactic powers. Captain Marissa Chen stood with her officers aboard the Resolute, watching the official broadcast of the vote. A quiet smile touched her lips. We made it. she said softly. Not just by might, but by earning trust. Ambassador Lyra joined the group, her expression bright with hope. This is more than a victory for humanity. It's a turning point for all of us. Yet, the true challenge was just beginning. With membership came responsibilities, maintaining peace, contributing to collective security, and navigating the complex politics of a vast and diverse galaxy. Back on Earth, celebrations erupted across continents. People looked to the stars with renewed pride and curiosity, inspired by the bravery and determination of those who ventured beyond their world. Meanwhile, the Resolute prepared for a new mission, one not of war, but of exploration and alliance building. Humanity would extend a hand to newly contacted species, offer aid to struggling worlds, and foster cooperation on an unprecedented scale. Captain Chen reflected on the journey that had brought them here from Earth's divided past to the front line of galactic diplomacy. The road had been perilous, but the crew had grown stronger, wiser, and more united. In a quiet moment on the observation deck, Chen gazed at the stars, feeling both humbled and hopeful. The galaxy was vast, full of wonders and dangers alike. But humanity had proven it could stand tall among the stars. Ready to face whatever came next, suddenly an incoming transmission broke the silence. It was a message from a distant, unexplored Rajana call for help from a newly discovered civilization facing a threat beyond anything known. Chen's eyes sharpened. Prepare the ship. Our work is far from over. The Resolute surged forward into the unknown, humanity's legacy blazing like a beacon. In a galaxy transformed by their arrival, the true adventure was only beginning.